Hello and welcome to our sunset flow. For the next 19 minutes, we'll be warming up, shaking off the day. Go ahead and step to the top of your mat. On an inhale, go ahead and rise to your toes, and on exhale, release to the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. Start to activate that lower body. Just connect the small movement with your breath. On your next inhale, raise your hands up and overhead, option to come up onto your toes if you want to challenge. Exhale, release the hands down by your side. Inhale, hands up and overhead, fingertips touch, option to come onto the toes. Exhale, mindfully release the hands down. Inhale, deep breath in, hands up and overhead, shoulders rolling down your back. Exhale, hands down by your side. Inhale, hands up and overhead, fingertips touch, come onto your toes if you want. Go ahead and grab your right wrist with your left hand, side bend to the left, giving your right side a nice stretch. Inhale, return to neutral, hands stretched overhead, gaze upward. And then bend to the other side, grabbing that left wrist with your right hand, getting a nice stretch through the left side. Come back to neutral, exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, hands up and overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, come down, really let it all out. Big inhale in, hands up and overhead, and exhale, release it all out. You can do this as fast as you want. Inhale up, exhale, release the breath. You can even make a noise when you do that, like ha. Inhale, ha. Exhale down, hands up and overhead to really get that breath out. Inhale, exhale. Let it out. Go ahead and clasp your hands behind your back. Stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, opening your shoulders and your chest. Stay in that forward bend, looking towards your knees. Finding a little bit of movement back and forth in the knees, bending them up and down. And then continuing to deepen the fold, pulling with the clasped hands. Inhale, rise up. Give yourself a slight back bend. Exhale. Hands up and overhead. Large arm circles forward. Go ahead and try to match your breath here. Moving forward and then reversing those circles. Noticing if it feels really different. Forward or backward. Maybe you need to go slower or you can go faster. Inhale, rise back up, hands overhead. Exhale, come to forward fold. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands down, feet back into plank position. Keep your abdomen engaged. Press into all 10 fingers and rock back and forth onto your toes. On an exhale, come into downward facing dog. Again, move your knees up and down, working into the pose. Trying to get the front half of your torso towards your thighs and knees, letting that head and neck relax, pressing in actively through your hands and your feet. Breathe here, and slowly walk your feet one in front of the other until you're in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Go ahead and clasp your hands behind you, pull your arms back, opening your shoulders. Maintaining your gaze downward, and begin to slightly bend your knees, and then rising back up. Maintain the pull in your hands the entire time. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, bend. Stay in this bend. Release the hands up, come into chair position. Make sure your hips are sinking back. You can gaze slightly forward or towards your hands. And then begin to do large arm circles forward, noticing how that's taking your attention away from your burning legs. You can do this. Inhale, back to chair position. Exhale, reverse those large arm circles, releasing them back. Try to match this movement with your breath. Inhale up, back to chair pose. Holding here, sitting back even deeper. Exhale, release all the way up. Give yourself a slight back bend, even releasing the hands behind the neck. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot back, lower the right knee, bend the left leg 90 degrees. Inhale, bring your hands up and overhead. Gaze slightly upward, hands are parallel. Hands are also active. Return to those large arm circles. You can go backwards or forwards. Inhale up, exhale, releasing. And keep bending into that left knee, opening up your hips. Then reversing your arm circles. Keeping your hands really active, extending out. Then raising the hands up and overhead and straightening that right leg, coming in to a high lunge. Exhale, releasing the hands back behind you. Extend head and chest forward, bringing your hands down, framing that right foot, stepping back into plank, finding a bit of movement here, and then pushing back into downward facing dog. Again, bending your knees as needed, pushing that front half of your torso towards your upper thighs and knees, letting the head and neck hang, relaxing the face. And slowly walking your feet one in front of the other until you come into halfway lift. Take an inhale, exhale, forward fold. See if you can go a little deeper. Inhale, slowly tracing the front line of your body. Rise all the way up, hands overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, release the hands to a T position, and then all the way down. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands down in front of you, step that left foot back, bringing the left knee to the ground, right knee at 90 degrees. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Arms are parallel, fingers are extended and active. Let's introduce those arm circles. Forward or backward, whatever suits you. Inhale up, exhale down. Maintaining your integrity in the lower half, so really pressing in through the top of that left foot, keeping that bend in the right knee. Reversing those arm circles. Keep it in line with your breath, noticing how movement helps you expand this pose. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Go ahead and lift that left knee, rise up. Fingertips are extended. Exhale, bring the hands down to a T position. Chest is open, shoulders are moving down away from the ears. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, release the hands down, framing that foot. Rocking onto that left toe, bringing the hands back, palms facing down. And framing that foot again, stepping back into plank position, finding a bit of movement that works for you here. Coming onto the tippy toes and then pushing back into downward facing dog. Notice how this one feels. It's our third one of the practice. See if you can go a little deeper here, chest toward the tops of the shins. Pressing in through the hands and back through the heels, lifting those hips. Keep holding, staying deep in the pose. On an inhale, slowly, mindfully walk your feet one in front of the other until you're in forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise, head coming up last, then bringing your hands up and overhead, slight back bend. Hands to the back of your neck, if you so choose. Back to T position. I'm changing the way I'm facing you. You can still stay the way you are on your mat. We're going to work on some balance here. So go ahead and balance on that right leg. Press through all four corners. Bring the left foot up to your ankle. It's okay to fall. Up to your ankle, your calf, or if you want, all the way to your inner thigh. We're preparing for tree pose. Really find balance on your left and right sides. And when you're ready, bring your hands out to a T position. You're also welcome to have your hands pressed together in front of your chest, or if you want to challenge yourself, bring them up and overhead, fingertips to touch. If you really want an extra challenge, go ahead and close your eyes here. Find your breath, stabilize, and balance. Exhale, release the hands down if they're up. Go ahead and twist your tree, bringing that right arm forward, left arm back, really testing your balance. Coming back to neutral, and then releasing that left foot down. Go ahead and move a little bit here. Inhale, hands up and overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, release down to a T position. This time we're going to bend our right knee, preparing for tree pose. Again, match what you did on the other side, ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Actively press with your right foot into that left thigh and press right back with the left thigh. Extend out to a T position. You're welcome to keep your hands pressed together at your chest, or if you'd like, you can raise them up and overhead. Notice if this feels different on the other side. It's totally okay to fall out. Really test your balance here. Close your eyes if you're finding this really easy. And see if you can find your balance. Once you do, breathing into the pose and becoming aware of what's happening in your body. Exhale, release the arms down into a T position. Maintain the bend in the left leg. And then twist left hand forward, right hand back into a twisted tree. It's okay if you fall out here, just come back into it. Go ahead and release the left foot down. Move your feet back and forth. And then inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hips back, bend the knees, come into chair pose, hands up and overhead. Bring the arms back behind you, making large arm circles. Again, try to match this up with your breath. Inhaling, rising up. Exhale, circling down. Keep your hips pushing back. Make sure your toes are visible and your knees are bent. Go ahead and reverse the circle. Inhaling, bring the arms up, and exhale, circling down. Finding your flow here. Inhaling up, letting your exhale guide the circle motion down. Your next inhale, come into chair position. Release your hands back, palms facing upward, and then bring your hands down to the ground into a forward fold. Rise into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up, head rises last. Bring the hands up and overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, bring the hands down by your side. Go ahead and stand hip width apart. Bring the right foot up, bend the right knee, and grab it with both hands. Do a few ankle rolls, clockwise, then counterclockwise. And when you're ready, test your balance by grabbing that right knee with your right hand, pushing it open and extending the left arm out. You can stay here, or you're welcome to grab your big right toe with your right index finger, middle finger, and thumb, and straighten the leg outward. Don't worry if you're not able to do this. A lot of it is because I have short legs, so I can get in this pose easily. But just do your best, test your balance, and just keep your knee bent and hugging it in if that's where you should be today. Go ahead and grab the top of the right foot, pull it back behind you, giving yourself a nice quad stretch, and then releasing the foot down. We're going to repeat on the other side. Make sure your hip width distance apart. Go ahead and bend that left knee. Grasp it with your hands, squeeze it in towards your body. It's okay if you lose your balance. Circle your ankle, loosen it up. Reverse your circle. And you can either stay here or you can grab the left big toe with your left index finger, middle finger, and thumb and straighten it out, bringing the right hand to your hip or challenging yourself and extending it out. Again, do what you need to do today for your balance and for your body. It's okay if you fall out of it, just come back in. Go ahead and release. Bring the top of that left foot back, give yourself a quad stretch. Exhale, release down. Inhale, hands up and overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Put your hands down, step back into plank pose, keep your abs engaged. Then lower your knees to the ground and sit back into child's pose. Arms outstretched in front of you, palms down. You're also welcome to bring your palms by your side, palms facing up. Breathe here. Feel the effect that this energizing practice has had. And on an inhale, rise up into cow pose, exhaling to cat, and then child's. Inhale, cow pose, dropping that belly, exhaling into cat, child's pose. Find your flow here. Inhale, cow, cat, child's. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Cow pose, exhaling, cat, arching that back, child's pose. Inhale, drop the belly, cow pose. Exhale, arch the back, suck the belly in, cat. Bring the hips back, child's. And take a moment, rest in child's pose here. Again, starting to let go of your breath. Starting to let go of your day or anything you're holding on to that you no longer need to hold on to. You're welcome to stay in child's pose as long as you need or move into Shavasana if you'd like a deeper relaxation. Otherwise, thank you for practicing with me. Go do something good with your day or have a restful evening if you're saying goodbye to the sun. Namaste. Thanks and see you again soon.